breaks of 80 and 49 by Doherty, and 75 and 63, and that was a break per frame, so to speak.
Well, he said at the start of the match it would be impossible to choose a winner. That certainly proved to be the case. Both players are in fine form. It's just going to be a question of who buckles first. What a wonderful opportunity here for Stephen Hendry. Probably slightly straighter on the black than you would have liked, but he still got the choice of reds here. Red into the right corner pocket, or the red over the right centre pocket. Just screwing back off the side cushion. I'm playing that red. May have freed two reds into the right corner pocket, the same pocket he's going to be putting the black here. Until after this next shot, well, it doesn't look as though he's going to be playing for those two reds. Decision time for Stephen Hendry. Doesn't need to go into the cluster, but this is a good opportunity, and he has got the assurance of that red over the middle pocket. That's worked out exceptionally well. And they have something at the back of his mind at the moment. All blacks with all reds so far. Well, he wanted a full ball contact on the red, but and there was his insurance, the red over the centre pocket now. Will he be thinking about securing the frame or coming back down towards the black? It is definitely on his mind.
Yeah, so we might as well say the dreaded word, maximum. Reds, 8 blacks after this goes in, and they are just about perfect. Just the one red down the right side cushion. You must know about this maximum potential here. What a time to do it. He's actually brought his wife Mandy along and son Blaine. The first time actually that I can recall, although I'm sure it's happened before at other venues. But
72.
what a time actually to knock in a 147.
73.
Well, hope springs eternal. Now, the side cushion now, I think. That difficult red, and if he doesn't like it, the one into the middle, but it's this one, he's perfect on this. He's not straight, he can come off this side cushion.
Well, that was a great shot. For me, that was the big shot.
$88.
The highest in the league ever in its 12 years of existence is 146. Stephen Henry holds that.
Well, he's still okay.
96.
Slightly more angle on the red than he would have liked, but that was a clever shot, electing to play the black into the same pocket as the red.
So 2 more reds to go. Still has a red on, which enables him to get perfect onto the black. That's 13 reds, 13 blacks so far.
Oh, this is more difficult than you'd like at this stage of the break. This is a real test of cueing. Well played.
Oh, and he's okay as well, Mark. Could have gone a little bit further up, but he can still screw back, stay on this black.
$130.
No, I can't see anything going wrong now.
$120.
No, just forced to use the rest here always makes the shot more difficult. That is a wonderful shot.
122.
Yeah, I needed to punch that with the rest. Gone on a little bit, white, but shouldn't really have a problem with the screen. Almost straight.
125.
And this full house here at the Diamond Centre Rushden, I think, are about to see their first 147 live.
129.
There's 15 or so lads at the back of this room that you haven't seen yet, just come to see how the great players play with their tutor from the local snooker club. Now a lot depends on knocking this pink into that middle pocket and just getting a little bit of action on the cue ball back to the black. Well, he can't miss this, believe it or not. Here's a 147 with the final black, an absolute perfect break. You can't do any...
One. Eight. 9.
He does play exceptionally quick when he gets down to the black area. Just a little awkward this time though.
$16. 17. 24. 25.
'Just asking for the black to be cleaned there. Really does look a different player
32.
on this side of the table. Looks totally focused. Seems to lose a bit of
33.
interest sometimes if the game gets scrappy. He's down the bar colours.
Certainly breathtaking when he's in this mood.
41.
Now the white into the pack.
48.
'Didn't expect the distance between the cue ball and the next red, but still pot on.
Yes, they're loving it. And I was going to say he's left himself awkward for that red, but he really does make those shots look so easy.
$56. 57. 64. 65.
Touch a side spin then, just to help the object ball in the pocket. Couldn't quite see it. It really does make
72.
things happen in this form.
73. 80.
We've already had from him the tournament highest,
81.
144. Do we have a second century in 3 frames?
$88. 89. 96.
And the frame just 5 minutes old.
$97. 104.
Spectacular
105.
and seemingly so simple.
Use the angle then to stay on the black here.
113.
So the maximum break is definitely on now.
$120. 122.
It took him 5 minutes and 20 seconds at the Crucible in the World Championships.
125. 129.
Glorious stuff from Ronnie O'Sullivan.
134. 140.
Yes!
Reversed here.
1.
Quite clearly Stephen Hendry has stepped up a couple of gears. His brake building's improved, his safety's improved. That's the reason he's at the table this time, forcing the mistake out of Ebden.
Yes, and he's realised that he has to win these frames in one visit, and that's exactly what he's doing. In the last 3 frames he's made breaks of 78, 88 and 58. Not much reply from Peter.
Nine.
We've been talking about mentally strong players, but I don't think they come any stronger than this man, Stephen Hendry.
17.
His ability to perform under pressure is quite incredible. He's already demonstrated that a couple of times during this match.
Yes, we see it time and time again. When somebody threatens him,
24.
he turns it on.
25.
Just going to the edge of the pack here with a hold for the single one there on the left hand side. Hopefully just nudge 1 or 2 out. Well, that's worked out perfectly.
32.
Well, Peter has been sitting in his chair quite a while over the last couple of frames. I think he might be doing that so here again. He's keeping himself focused though. If there's any slip up from Stephen, he's going to be straight back in there.
33.
The textbook action from Stephen Hendry. Going along very nicely indeed. I'm not going to say anything, but that is 5 reds, 5 blacks. The break goes to 40.
41.
That's worked out okay. The red goes into the centre pocket once again, coming back down for the black. Well, Mike, I just wonder if something else is on his mind apart from winning this frame.
Well, obviously the first thought would be getting to about 70 odd points, and knowing that he's won the frame, he can relax a little. Hasn't quite come far enough there. Wanted to be above that red.
A bit further up the table. Could screw back up the side cushion though. I'm sure he's going to play on the black here and not the pink. He knows it's there. Well, he's thinking about it. And obviously his first thought is really to win the frame, but he feels if he can get back off this side cushion. Well, he's decided to play on the pink.
57.
Well, a lot of professionalism in that shot. Well, he's looking at the black. He's decided to have a go at it. He's got it. Now then.
Well,
Still on.
you know exactly what he's thinking about now. The 147.
Don't want to say much, Mark, because when we do, things start to happen.
Well, he's done it many times before.
72.
I just wonder if he can do it again here today at Plymouth Pavilions.
Well, he still wants one red. He's not safe yet. 75 on the table, 72 points the lead. Would expect him to get this one, of course. But if it goes in, yeah, well, we're definitely thinking about it. Yes, well, he knows the frame's safe now. What a great chance.
And this would be a double blow for Peter Ebdon, Mike. If Stephen was to go on and make the 147, a tremendous achievement, but he'd also take Peter's highest break of 143 at the moment.
Yes, Peter's holding that one, and prize there £5,000. Of course, if he goes on to make the maximum, a matter of a £23,000 motor car outside as well, waiting for him.
This for me is probably the most difficult of the four reds left on the table.
I agree, if this goes in, I think he'll make it.
Superb.
For this crowd here in anticipation, they know it's on now. Perfect.
It's a joy to commentate on this man when he is playing like this.
$97.
Well, he holds the record for the most 147s made in competition. That's 5. Could this be a 6th? What a great break.
105.
Oh, the crowd are loving this one. They're urging him on, and so are we.
He's got to be careful with this shot. Okay, the black is fairly straightforward. Has to get a good angle on this red. Absolutely perfect.
113.
Well, he's just gone a little straight on the black here. He might have to punch the angle off the top and the side cushion. Oh, he's okay. He's got a slight angle.
That was superb. The 15 reds with 15 blacks. Now just the colours for the maximum break.
Come on, cue ball. Come on, Mike. Oh, he's just got there, but he's got a bit to do here with the cue ball. He's going to put left-hand side on here to stay on the brown. must be tremendous.
What a treat for Sky Sports viewers.
Three more balls to go then.
$134.
What can you say? Absolutely magnificent. He's made 5 147s before in competition. That is 6th. Well, the crowd absolutely loved that one. What a tremendous break by the world champion. Absolutely fabulous. Well done, Stephen.
So he certainly seems to have got himself in the right frame of mind for this encounter.
Eight. Nine. $60.
Pretty good opportunity now for Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's looking good.
$24. 25. $32. 33. $40.
5 reds, 5 blacks.
41.
And this is the sort of position from which maximums are made.
$48. 49.
Well, this is starting to get a little bit exciting.
57.
I had the great pleasure of commentating the Embassy World Championship a couple of seasons ago when Ronnie made that maximum break in 5 minutes 20 seconds, something that I don't think will ever be equalled. But he's on his way here and he'll be thinking motor car very nice vector for a maximum.
Plus £5,000, the highest break prize.
65.
Straight on the black, which reduces his positional options.
Yeah, it's a little bit tricky, that one. But those 4 reds are just a wee bit awkwardly placed.
$73. $80. $81.
Well, that was a nice little nudge. Can he get the one into the
88.
centre pocket past the pink? Yes, I think it'll go. Well, this is quite amazing.
96. $97.
Looking a strong favourite for a maximum now.
$105.
Superb planning and positional play has gone into this break.
$112.
A little smile from Ronnie there. As long as he doesn't leave himself straight, a little smile from the audience too. Oh, there's a lot of them there who will never have seen a maximum live. He could have done with coming back a little bit further. He's still got a bit of angle, but where's that white ball going?
$125.
What a genius.
134.
Wonderful! Ronnie O'Sullivan's 147 maximum wins him the Vauxhall Vectra, £5,000, and gives him a 2-0 lead.
good shot. Good clean pot. Perfect control of the cue ball. It's a funny thing, you know, for all he's won, Stephen Willie went back to the players area after the mid-session interval, and there was Stephen on the table practicing.
Yeah, I think we mentioned in commentary that he was missing a few long ones and perhaps thought his timing wasn't quite right. You see, the thing is with timing when you're break building, people out there would not realise that you can actually, you know, still score very heavily when you're not cueing well, but when it does find yourself out is really when you're playing the long game.
$16.
Yes, he's got so much pride in performance, Stephen. That little 10-minute interval, practicing away, trying to get things right.
$17. $24.
It's early doors, but that's the third black with the third red. And it 25. Is a situation that brings a 147 to mind, because really all the reds are in this half of the table. The only red that's a little bit away, it's on the blue spot, so that wouldn't be a problem getting position on that and playing for the
32.
black.
$33.
Nothing would give Stephen greater pleasure than to beat his fellow Scotsman's high break, which is held by John Higgins at the moment, a magnificent break of 144. Unlike Higgins, O'Sullivan, Hendry Williams, when there is an opportunity of making a sizable break, if the 147's there, they go for it.
$40. $41.
Oh, great pot, back in prime position. The red just at the bottom of the pack. The crowd looks on. A little bit of anticipation, I'm sure, coming to mind at the moment. Wondering. It's a possibility.
48. $49.
Really has to get high on this next red, so not to finish straight. Doesn't have the angle to play for the reds into the left-hand corner that are in the pack. So just running through on and off the cushion. I just rolled it in to make sure that it didn't finish straight, but this is a tough pot.
56. $57.
Now, he probably will elect to stun into the reds here. Needs a bit of luck. That's pretty good. I think he'll have eyes for nothing else but a maximum 147 here. The balls couldn't be better situated. He may not need another car, but he'd love to make one. He could always give it to me, will he?
65.
He really is a machine, isn't he? He's already made 6 147s in tournament play. And this is the beauty of going for 147s. You see, at this situation now, you can't afford really just to play for one red, because once you get the wrong angle, it's break over. So consequently, Stephen has played for 2 or 3 reds at the same time there, to always give yourself options.
72.
And this is the only reason that Stephen Hendry is so proficient in the 147 department. Again here, he won't play for 1 red, he'll play for 2 reds. But making sure he finishes high.
8. 81.
Well, I think they've had a little bet between themselves. They're wondering whether this 147 is going to be made at this visit. See there again, you see, he's played for the red on the middle blue spot. If he's not on it, he's on one of the other reds. This is a real chance.
$89.
Oh, is he on the one just below the pink?
96. 97.
So really now it's all there. It's just a case of keeping yourself together, and even Stephen Hendry will be feeling it a little bit now. Well, it's gone a little bit too hard for me.
4.
But, as I say, he's such a confident potter.
$105.
Yes, that previous black, once again he played for both reds rather than one. Now all he has to do now is definitely make sure he finishes high on this next red. Doesn't want to finish low. It's finished absolutely perfect.
112.
Yes, the only problem now, of course, is the yellow knot on its spot. So imperative
113.
he gets a good angle. He's got the angle on the black. He's got to pot the black and get the line and pace right for the yellow.
That is without doubt one of the best positional shots you're likely to see.
120.
This key shot. Well, you've got to fancy him now. This is remarkable.
Yes, we were saying early on that he took over the mantle from Steve Davis, and he certainly has taken snooker to a new level. A level that
129.
other players, and it has improved the standard of the game they're trying to reach consistently as Stephen. That cue ball needs to run a little bit more, I think, though.
134.
Well, it's not bad, but he won't leave the black that easy.
It's there. This has been absolutely superb. A genius at work. A genius witnessed by this lot.
And Terry Griffiths.
Playing this with a lot of side. That's the last thing he wanted. Didn't want to get that close.
And Dennis giving the table a good bang in the hope that the red might go down. One thing that has never left him is his sense of enjoyment. Oh, look at that. He had the cue ball on the end of an elastic band.
Lots of top spin.
9.
Holds the cue ball on the cushion. Nice cannon. Perfectly played.
$16. 17. 24. 25. 32.
Confident enough to play for the more difficult red.
33.
Seem to have no trouble along the cushions these days. Pockets are quite tight, but these players are so accurate.
40. 41.
'All blacks so far. 6 reds, 6 blacks.
48. 49.
Right at the start of this contest, Stephen Hendry had 12 reds, 11 blacks.
$56.
Well, the reds couldn't be set much better. Possible maximum break here, but immediately that tends to put pressure on the players. When the balls are wide open, they look around and they think, well, they're all on. The only thing I can do now is miss one, so hopefully that won't occur. Certainly looks very comfortable there. Striking the ball with authority, retaining position.
65. 72. 73.
'John Higgins has never made a maximum break in tournament snooker.
80.
Indeed, I gather he's only achieved it once in practice.
81.
And that just adds to the pressure, doesn't it?
88.
Just stayed short enough there. Look, for 1 minute you're going to slip past the pink, but still okay.
$89.
It's now he's entitled to start feeling a bit twitchy.
$96.
First awkward one. Just at the
97.
angle there to screw back and miss the pink. So back in perfect position.
Perfect century. Now then.
104.
Get down on your knees, Dad. You can be sure that at this stage Dennis is doing nothing other than wishing John Higgins well.
105.
Has to get high enough after potting this black to leave an angle on the red, but got to be careful not to slip too far. Looks to be okay.
112.
Now this is worth watching. This is worth watching. The friends, the colleagues, the family. The snooker world.
130.
Now from black to yellow. Every day of his working life, John Higgins knocks 6 colours from off their spots.
122.
This is a practice exercise, but it won't feel like it right now.
$125.
He's going to be a proud man.
$129. $134.
2 balls shy of perfection.
140.
Fly the flag. Immaculate! Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful! Dad's the proudest man alive, and Son has a smile. The length and breadth of Scott.
You'd always like to have first frame any match, but
perfectly positioned.
Yeah, I'm the blacks over the pocket, so I couldn't really miss that. And all I was trying to do really was try and get a frame winning break. The balls were lying nicely, and at this stage I wasn't really thinking about the 147. I was just thinking about maybe getting 40, 48 points, get a little break going to get my arm going. But as I was on about 40, I suddenly realised that the reds were all sitting invitingly. And
but I'm just thinking that you've just gone red, black, red. Right. And as I've said, I think the 5th and 6th shots that you actually played in this frame, you haven't actually, you said get your arm going, but you haven't actually been cueing very much at all at this point.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, it doesn't matter how much practice you put in. It's totally different from a match situation. So I've not really been having a great time of it so far, but I've just, as I said, I was just trying to get a few points on the board and try to get a feel of the table, because I knew Jimmy had already played a match on the table, and if I let him in, he wouldn't be slow. getting used to the table again, I was sure, so I was trying to get a little break here and put him under pressure a little bit.
Because the other thing is Jimmy's such a popular figure here.
You're
and he
telling me.
Wonderful reception when he came out, and then you were introduced and you came out.
Oh, yeah.
And to put this in perspective, all this is happening within moments of that.
That's right. I mean, the crowd hadn't really settled down yet, I'm sure. A lot of the crowd were still finding their seat numbers and seeing where they were sitting. So, yeah, you could hear them all rustling about getting to their seats, so it was strange, really, but...
When you get to this point now and you're seeing that you're getting it all right, your rhythm is clearly there, and you're sitting up nicely on the black every time after the reds go down, does it then begin to enter your head that maybe something's on here?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once I put this black and then red and the black again, I go on for the red and the bottom cushion, and then I knew I had a great angle to go into the pack, that they were tightly bunched. So I knew if I could get into the pack and land out in one there, and I knew it would be
32.
One for a good break.
Tell the real amateur snooker players among us, how many shots are you ahead at this point
33.
in your mind?
I don't think you need to be too far in front. I think maybe 2 or 3 shots in front. I don't think if people say there's 7 and 8 shots in front now, that's a lie, because you can't tell what's going to happen in 7 shots time, but you can see in your mind about 2 or 3 shots in front what you're trying to do, and I think it was after I pot this red, I had a perfect angle in the black to split into the 4 reds directly under the pink.
So it's a tough one.
Well, no.
40?
No, not really.
That's the word number 1 talking, because we've seen a few today and other days missed them from that kind of...
Oh yeah, I mean, I've missed them before, I'm sure, but no, you shouldn't really miss that shot.
I'm glad to hear you speak with such confidence. Now where are we in this break, and where are you in your mind at this time?
Yeah, I'm looking at a plant there. I said if I could maybe just roll the black and I could play the plant, but I said no, just try and get into the pack here and hope to get a decent enough split. But I don't think I really got a good one, if I can remember correctly. And I've got to take a very difficult red into the middle bag, so I could easily have broke down here. This is a very tricky shot in the middle, but as soon as I striked it, I knew it was in, and
48.
my mind was back in the 147 again.
So you're acknowledging that at this point you're thinking this is difficult?
Yeah, absolutely, because there was a lot of pressure on as well, because if I miss this red, I'm leaving the frame at Jimmy's mercy, so I was delighted.
Of course, you're at the point where it can go either way.
You're in between now, although you've got your sights set on 147. If I miss any shot here, now Jimmy would go favourite to win the frame, so
because if it's all there for you, it's all there for him equally if you let him.
Exactly. So I didn't really play that black nice. I didn't get enough screw into the white ball, but I managed to recover position again. I put quite a good red into the middle bag here, so I'm back on the break again.
Now you've spoken about the nerves jangling towards the end. Well, you jangled a bit in the middle, as you've acknowledged at this point. Are you then back down off that precipice, as it were, thinking, okay, I'm now back in my rhythm and they're all sitting nicely?
Yeah, I don't think you always see many 147s, everything plain sailing. There's always got to be about 2 or 3 shots that the player is to play really well, and I managed to put a good long red into the top bag here because this is the red, I think, to win the frame, so there's a little bit of pressure on it just to win the frame, really. But as soon as I pot this red, now I'm definitely going for the 147 from here on in.
And you're perfectly positioned for this next black. You've got those few remaining reds, and they're all clustered nicely for you.
Yeah.
And I suppose you're thinking in your mind at this point, all I have to do is maintain my rhythm, maintain... Exactly.
Although the nerves are going, you shouldn't really miss a straightforward shot, which all the balls really are there. They're all set straight forward, so you've just got to, 72. I suppose, rely on a little bit of technique and rely on the hours of practice you've been doing in the club, and you should win me a good chance of doing it. But every shot's difficult under that pressure out there, especially in front of the packed crowd.
And you can't be unaware that their expectation is mounting all the time.
Exactly. There's some people shouting out, come on, and there's other people telling them to shut up, and it's quite funny really, but no, they were great. It was a great atmosphere to actually do it in there.
Talking about other sports, and they say that a batsman in cricket who's been in for a long time sees the ball like a football because he's so into his rhythm. Does it get a bit like that with you when you're at this point in a break? Are you full of confidence now?
Yeah, I was full of confidence here. I roll the black in off 2 cushions here, and I leave myself a nice red in the middle bag, which it is hard under the pressure, but I was feeling very confident at that point, so I fancied knocking this in and screwing back for the black, and I managed to do it quite well. But taking your point, yeah, I suppose it would be different if it was maybe halfway through the match and I was on for the 147. You'd be feeling a lot more confident, but with it being only the first frame, you're still not used to the cushions, or you're still not used to the bed of the table, and there was a couple of tricky shots I thought I would be facing.
Because it is a different table. It's your first time on it in a competitive situation.
Yeah.
I don't think we should overlook that the whole business of doing this in the first frame of your first match puts the whole thing onto a totally different level.
Oh yeah, I mean it's unbelievable break to actually do when you're first going visit to the table. But I played a bad shot there. I get too much into the white ball, and I've left myself a tricky red into the middle bag, and I managed to pot the red, but then I go too close to the cushion. I'm just trying to dig into this a little bit more than what I actually do. I don't catch it well enough, and my white's over near the side cushion. Plus it was straight, so all I've really tried to do here is if I screw it off. If I screw it off too far, I'm going to land myself on the side cushion, and I wouldn't really have a shot to go on the black. So I could play that another 100 times there, and I wouldn't land as perfect as I did there. So from here on in, I'm perfect. So I just try to stun this red in and screw back a little bit to leave myself at a plain ball black. All I would really have to do with the black is pot it and come off the bottom cushion and go up the right side of the pink there. But I don't get into the red now good enough, and I've got to come off 2 cushions. This was a difficult shot. I've got to come off 2 cushions and play it perfect for the yellow, and luckily enough for me, as I said, if I had that another 100 times, I don't think I would play it as well as that again. So
was that the shot of the break?
That was a shot that's actually won me. With the colours being on their spots here, you should never ever miss from there. But the old nerves were certainly going at this stage.
As you say, when they're all on their spots, there shouldn't be.
Exactly. You do this hundreds and hundreds of times on the practice table back in your club, and you shouldn't really miss. But no, they never come easy. And I pot the brown, then I pot the blue, but I don't come off the bottom cushion far enough for the pink. And all I can really do is drop the pink in and leave myself a very difficult black. So this was a shot. I don't come off the bottom cushion far enough.
I suppose if you're going to claim £27,500 and a share at least of the 3,000 for the top break in the tournament, you've got to give yourself something difficult to do.
Well, you don't really want now too many difficult shots here, but all you should really do there is not land below the pink. Always land above it, because it'll be quite easy to go on the black. But all I can really do here is just roll the pink in and leave myself a very difficult black. I actually didn't fancy potting this, being honest. I was exactly. I was down on it, and I was going to hit it hard, and I was going to hit it slow, and I was thinking to myself, what if you get a kick on the black? But I managed to get down on it and just say, look, just try and pot it as if you were maybe holding for a red at the pack, and luckily for me, I've hit it quite nice.
That's such a perfect end.
Yeah,
the perfect break.
It was great.
And the first time in the history, 23-year history of the Benson Hedges Irish Masters, that any snooker player has ever completed a 147.
Yeah.
I think you deserve to feel pretty pleased with yourself.
Yeah, absolutely delighted. Brilliant.
Well done, John.
Thank you. Thanks.
On his very first scoring visit to the table, he clears the board with the perfect result, a 147. Well, you can hear the buzz of the crowd, and that's John Higgins doing something you very rarely see at snooker. He's having a little bit of a smile. A bit of a smile of satisfaction.
Here.
I just worry a little bit about this stage of the match with somebody like Quinton Hann, because quite clearly he is in very good form. He won his first match 5-0, and in this match so far he's only 2 or 3 shots away from leading in the match. I'm not saying he could be 3-0, but he certainly could be 2-1 in front. And you know, I'm just a bit worried in case he throws the towel in, and that safety shot there was played very lackadaisical, and then his facial demeanour has changed since the first frame. You know, you can't bully somebody like O'Sullivan, and you've got to make sure you don't get bullied when you play him.
Well, it's not very often these days that someone from England beats someone from Australia at any kind of sport, so I suppose we should be grateful.
Yep.
Plenty of pom bashing goes on the sporting fields around the world these days. And a bit of Aussie bashing.
Nine. Played to get the full ball cannon on the red. Only kissed the red half ball, so end of break. Played the full ball cannon, you see, cut it half ball. Surely he's not planning to clip this in. Wow, the cheeky little devil. That is unbelievable. How many players in the world, knowing
16.
he was going to leave a red on, would have took that red on?
17.
More to the point, Anthony would have potted it.
And another very aggressive shot there. His pot success rate is up to 96%. A good standard is 90. And we noticed there that Quinton Hahn's success rate is 88%, and he could go 4-0 behind in 5 minutes' time.
That's another illuminating stat as well. Average score per visit, almost 40 for O'Sullivan. That's good at billiards, let alone snooker.
33.
Will he play the arcing screw shot here into the pack? He wants to miss the cannon on the first red, and he needs to arc them into the pack. He doesn't want to hit the first red above the black. Now watch the cue ball here. Now he's caught the first red. It's still okay though. He played to arc. You saw the cue ball bend then. He wanted to, now watch the cue ball, he wanted it to bend. See how it's bended late? He wanted it to bend round the first 2 reds, and that would have opened all the pack. As it is though, it's still pretty good.
41.
And I know it's early doors, but that is all reds and blacks.
48. 49.
There's the magic figure at the bottom of your screens.
56.
He's done it once before
57.
here on Sky Sports at last year's Regal Welsh Open. That was a magnificent effort. I just wonder whether we're going to see a repeat. He's made 3 in total, all 64. On television, Willie. He's not frightened of it.
He's going to have to play the more difficult red here, the red that's available at the bottom of the pack. He would be kissing the pack too thick. Yes, he wants to go for the 147. He'd have had to play for blue or bought colour off that red. So this time he needs the 65. Angle. He'd rather finish slightly low on this bottom red than high. He doesn't want to go into the pack off the red. Now that's a better shot.
72.
The frame after this red will be safe. And 73. Now we can sit, watch and hope.
80. 81.
Well, certainly a cannon going to have to be played here. He'd love to kiss the two reds on the pink spot. Whether he can play that or not. Yes, that's perfect. What a shot.
88. 89.
It's time for the palms to start sweating again. Can we see history? Remember, Stephen Maguire made a 147 in the pre-TV stages of this tournament.
97.
There's never been two 147s in the same world ranking event, Willie. Will this be the first occasion that magic achievement has been arrived at? Well, there's the century. The crowd expectant, and so are we.
I just cannot believe how easy he makes this game look sometimes. 147s are almost an impossibility. These guys these days make them look
112.
so very easy.
113.
So this is the stage now where he only has to be careful here.
120.
Quite obviously the only problem appears to be brown to blue.
122.
He'll play to get onto the blue into the black pocket. So this is now the key shot.
125.
This is the key shot. He won't play the cannon. He'll just leave the long blue into the black pocket. Doesn't want to be straight on it though. Wants to be slightly off straight.
129.
He's come too far. This is missable. Get in. It's there.
2 pots away from £5,000, the keys to a Vauxhall Vectra.
This is magnificent, absolutely wonderful. One of the best 147s I have ever seen.
Pure magic. If you ever see an effortless 147, that was it. Standing ovation, and why not? They go into the mid-session interval.